Hello friends, it's Sherry. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. Come on into my craft room and I'll show you what I'm working on today. Grab your drink. I got my coffee here and a nice big cup. Can you see that? Yeah, got my coffee. And so yeah, I'm working with my envelope punch board, and here's what I made so far as an example of what I'll be working on today. They are some spools that I'm making because I came across and picked up at a thrift store this past week a bunch of eyelash trim. So I thought I'd share it in my shop, and I wanted to put it on some pretty spools. So I thought, let me get my envelope punch board out because I've made these before on my channel. It's been a while though, so I wanted to make some and make up some of these little spools. So I kind of was experimenting. I have these two are 2 layers of cardstock glued together, and I have rounded the corners with a different, I was kind of experimenting with the different sizes of my corner rounder. This is the medium one and this is the small corner, and this one has 1 yard of eyelash trim on it, and this one has 3 yards. So I was trying to decide. I thought I wanted to do 1 yard, and I could make a smaller spool, but I kind of like this size spool, so maybe I'll do the 3 yards of each one for my shop, but we'll see how that goes. But I just like the look of how this is all kind of filled in here, and I just like this size spool because when you're done, you can reuse this spool for your craft room or whatever you want to do. If you want to send these in Happy Mail or organize, use them for organizing your craft room or your trims or things like that, you could use these spools for that. So I might make some extra blank spools for my Etsy shop too as I have time. These things are pretty quick, but they do take, time to do all these little crafts, right? So I'm going to show you how I made these, the 2-layer ones. And I might, in maybe another video another time, try some double-sided cardstock just to see how I like those. But I had these sheets pulled out of a scrapbook paper pad, so I thought I'd just go ahead and use these. They're coordinating. These are some more I cut out of so these are ready to go, of the paper I just showed you, but I wanted to show you how I was cutting up. So it's really convenient with a 12 by 12 because these little cards right here that I've already cut up are 3 inches across and 4 inches long, right? So if you have a 12 by 12, that's really easy to use and not waste any paper, right? So I'm going to show you. See, what I did was let's go ahead and cut 4 inches this way this time. That time I didn't have a hole. For the other one, I didn't have a whole 12 by 12. I had like 8 by 12, and I cut that up for those. But this is a whole 12 by 12, so this should be fun. Or I do have the little strip on the top though. Let me see how it. See, it's pretty on this paper. It doesn't have a hole in it, and it's just like really pretty. So I'm leaving it on there. I left it on there on these two. That's why this one looks like this with this little strip here. That's from that little strip that's on the top of your paper. On this one anyway. Because it doesn't have a hole, I left it. And if it has a hole in the middle, you could possibly still use it. You'd have to experiment with that, see how you like it. But let's go ahead and cut this up. So since this is white on the back, I turned it over and made little marks for my cut, where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to make 1 at 4 inches, 1 at 8 inches, and then the bottom one will be 12. So is that... Okay, so the way I turned it on its side here, the top is right here where that strip is. So that worked out well so far. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my 4-inch pieces and show you how I'm doing that. Let's see. So it's a little longer than my cutting board because of the way it's with the strip on there. It's more than 12 inches, but... let's see, let me see if I can get it into the... Oh, I was still able to get it in there. Okay, good. It goes a little bit beyond the little ending, you know, beginning and ending mark there on my punch board. This is what is this, a Fiskars, I guess. I think the name's worn off. Yeah, I've had this one a long time, but it still works really good. And so yeah, let me cut this piece, and then we'll cut the 3-inch piece. Let me get it right on the line here so I don't have everything. 3x4 hopefully is my goal. Okay, that looks good. All right, so I hope everyone's having a nice weekend and you're gonna have a nice Sunday. This one's folded, but it'll be all right in the end. That's how it was in my book. For some reason, I had it folded in my paper pad. I had pulled it out and then put it back in there. Okay, so let's see how these turn out. Let's go ahead and cut this one up. So this one, like I cut 4 inches. So now we're going to cut. Well, it's 4. Let me see. So it's 4 inches. Well, 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches. So how did I do that? Hold on. Hold on. This one's 4 inches. That one's a little short. Let me see this one. This one is okay. I must not cut on the line, but it's okay. We'll work with it. We'll work with it. I think I'm going to cut this one though. It's a little bit too big. So let me cut this again. The other one a little bit too small will be okay, but the little bit too big I don't want, because I don't want it. I just don't want it. I don't want it. Okay, here we go. I just want it to be what the size I want it to be, right? Okay. All right. It'll be easier because I glue in 2 pieces together too. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and these are the same now. So let's make our, see, they're 4 inches this way. So let's measure. Make sure it's right. Yes. Okay. So now we're going to do our 3-inch on this side. Okay, we'll see how this comes out. We got 3 here, and then 6, and then 9, and then 12. Okay, so yeah, I do have to cut off that strip. So let's see. Well, yeah, I did it this way. Okay, I'm just, I have the strip on 2 different ends here. That's what I'm looking at. So this end, the strip's going to be cut off, and this end, the strip's not going to be cut off. But I kind of like the strip on there because it kind of gives it a cool look with the 2, it's coordinating papers, but it's 2 different papers, you know, like on here. I think it's really cool to have the 2 different papers together. It just gives it a very interesting look, right? So yeah, so there's some scraps. Now let's go ahead and cut these. I cut the little strip off there that was extra. So let's cut these at the 3-inch marks. See if I can get it right on the line here. Okay. So if you, I bought this envelope punch board when I first, actually before I even started doing junk journals. I bought this envelope punch board because I wanted to make some envelopes. And you know, it's envelope punch board, but you can do so many other things with it. I found out after I got it, because I didn't even realize when I got it you could do all these other things. I just got it because I wanted to make some envelopes really quick. And I thought, I did some research and I was like, oh, you can make envelopes really quick with this envelope punch board, right? Okay, so what I did with the papers I just showed you that were finished, I ended up, because I was doing 1 at a time, and I was like, let me see if this will punch 2 at a time. So here I've got, I put my 2 pieces together, my two little rectangles, but you see how I have a white piece here? I don't know, it keeps happening to me. So if you have extra, just cut it off, you know what I mean? Just cut it off. Go ahead before you even do any of your punches. Just get them all even. And then I'm putting 2 in together just to save time. And you line it up here with your 1-inch mark is right here beside your little punch. And then the next like there's 2 more marks, so this, the third one up from, or the second one up from your 1 is the 1 1/4, or it's 3 lines up from your little punch, and it says 1/4 on it. So then you just punch, and you've got, see, 1 little punch there. Then you turn it over, keep it on the same side, just turn it over and do it again. Okay, and that makes everything all nice and even. If you're doing 2 at a time, you know this is going to be even and together when you glue it together. And then we're going to turn it over and do the other side, the other end. Same way. It's a little harder to punch 2 layers than 1 layer, but I think it's worth it to just keep it all together, you know. Okay, so now we've got the start of our spool here. And then, so just keeping it together and all even and everything. Cut your little middle part. Then I cut my little middle part out. Okay. I go ahead and cut this out before I glue it. You could probably glue it first if you wanted to. But, you know, I don't want to put glue on this part. So, I don't know. I'm just doing it like this. Okay. You see our spool developing here. There are my little scraps. And then you don't have to quarter round the corners. You can just leave it like this and glue your 2 pieces together, or round your corners. Now I'm going to stack this up and see if this is nice and even. I see a little white right here. When I just cut, you know, I didn't get it all, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, now I think I got it. Let me see this side. Yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and round the corners. I did, like I told you, a medium and a small on these. And the small you can hardly see. And so I think I like the medium a little bit better. I didn't try the larges over here. I didn't try that. I just want to do the medium. I think I like the medium. I use the large all the time, and kind of nice to use something other than the large all the time, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to use the medium just because I like it and it's different from what I usually use. But you can use, if you have an envelope punch board, you can use whatever you want. If you have a corner rounder, or there is a corner rounder right here. It's kind of like the large one on here. That's what this is right here, a corner rounder, but I'm not using that one because I wanted to use the medium one on my corner rounder. So then I'm just going to glue these together. I'm just using my art glitter glue. And it's doing fine, you know. This is just cardstock, so you're just gluing paper together. You know, and art glitter glue is very reliable. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. If you haven't, it's a good glue that I get on Amazon, and it's called Art Glitter Glue, and it doesn't have any glitter in it. It's just the name brand of this glue. That's all. I know when I first heard of it, I was like, does it have glitter in it? Why does it have the word glitter on there? You know what I mean? So, okay, we're going to glue these together and get them all nice and even. Okay. Let me smash it all down here, and this looks really cute with this paper and pretty. So I'm going to do a little trimming here, because when I glued it together, and this happens, it's no big deal. If you have a little white edge when you glue it together, just go ahead and cut it off if you want. You don't have to, but I want to, so I'm doing that. Just have a little white edge here too. I'm going to cut that out. Okay, and then you're good to go. If you're disturbed by any kind of, see how it's, you know, when you cut paper, you have that white edge. If you're disturbed by that at all, just, you can use your distressed ink just to cover that up. And I didn't even add any to it right now. I might need to, because I already used it, but whatever was on here. I didn't add it, haven't added any today to this. I just used whatever's left on there. Just kind of like covering up that white edge. Okay, so yeah, just covering up this white edge. Yeah, it's getting a little hard to cover up the white edge. I need a little bit more ink here. Let me get a little bit more on there. I just don't want to get ink on my, you know, I don't want it to come off on my eyelash trim, so I'm trying not to put too much on there. But I kind of did like covering up that white edge. Okay, so then I'm just going to grab some of my eyelash trim, and you can do this with anything you want to organize for your craft room or whatever to send in Happy Mail. So here's a little, my table's only 30 inches wide, so I have a yardstick here that I picked up at a thrift store. So here's the eyelash trim. It's kind of a, and you see it's kind of rainbow colored, really pretty. This is how I picked it up. It was just like this in a big ball. It's kind of wound up though, I think, you know, like around and around. But that's how I picked it up from the thrift store. So I'm just measuring out 3 yards. When I measure, I don't stretch it out, you know what I mean? I don't pull it, so because I want a real yard here. I don't want to stretch it out, and it's not like actually a real yard. So let's just measure 3 yards, and I'll show you how I wind it around, or how I did the ones I did already. So trying not to stretch it, I just let it relax and lay down on my yardstick. Pull out 3 yards. I try to do it over, like I don't measure it like, okay, that's 3 yards right there. I got to cut right there. I kind of go a little inch, you know, beyond 3 yards and then cut, because you never know. I just want to make sure it's 3 yards and I'm not, you know, stretching it or anything. Okay, so now I've just been, see, here's our nice little spool. Doesn't it look pretty with that pink? It's got postcard right there. So, yeah, if you have some scraps, you could use scraps for this if they're the right, you know, big enough to cut. So I just start it back here and hold on so that I can wrap around and catch that under what I'm wrapping here, and so I don't need anything to hold it together, you know what I mean? It's holding itself together, you know what I mean? So I say that a lot, I noticed. You know what I mean? I noticed I say that a lot. I was like, I gotta stop saying that so much. What do I keep saying that for? But you know what I mean. Anyway, just kidding. All right, so this is a really pretty eyelash trim too, but it's just so much. I figured I couldn't use it all, so I would share it in my Etsy. But then I was just, okay, so see, it's done here, and I got a little piece here, and I'm just gonna tuck that under in the back right here, so it's all holding itself together. See? So yeah, isn't that cute? So we've got 2 done. Here's the 2 different papers. Both look really pretty and cute. So let's just cut a few more, just so you can get the hang of cutting these. And so let's see, so I've got all these to cut now that we've cut, and all these. Now I noticed I didn't plan on experimenting with it today, but we could. Let me grab something I want to show you, because when I noticed when I cut these, I kind of had an idea, so let me go grab something. I'll be right back. Okay, so when I was cutting that paper and I noticed that how the size they were coming, I was like, you know, these are the same size as a journaling card. See, pretty much. This is a little bit taller, but not by much. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool maybe to use some journaling cards? The corners are already rounded, and these came just like this. I don't think I distressed these or anything. These are already distressed. But yeah, these are just 2 journaling cards, and you know what, I'm going to try these are pretty thick. Let me see if they feel like they're thicker. They feel slightly thicker. This is pretty thick, but this feels a little thicker. So I think I'm just going to try using one and try to see what this looks like as a spool. Okay, so like I said, the corners are already rounded. They're already cut. So if you have some journaling cards maybe you don't like, or you want to use up, this might be a good idea to use them up, right? I think they're going to be really cute, actually. I may have to get out my journaling cards and do some spools. I mean, what could be quicker? I didn't even have to cut the I didn't even have to cut the, you know, the rectangle. But let's see how it looks. This one says, I missed you. I don't think I'll be cutting off any words. I just picked out this one because, or these two, because they have, the ones I like to put in my journals have a blank side that you can write on. And this one, see how it's dark here and then it has the words here. So it's not really one I feel like you could write on. So I figured this would be good to make into a spool. Isn't that cute? Let's do this one real quick too. The love one. So yeah, okay, it was a good idea, I think. And I think I have a bunch of journaling cards. I love journaling cards. I always have. Since the very moment I discovered them, I just think they're the cutest things. So cute. I love it. This is so fun, right? I get a kick out of the tiniest things. It's just like so exciting. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, let's see what it looks like with some, well, now I'm gonna measure again, but yeah. So it'll be covered up. But then it'll be like a permanent thing that you have when you know what's under there, and you can use it for organizing your craft room or to send in happy mail or as a gift, you know, so many things, right? But, you know, that message or whatever, sentiment, if it has a sentiment or a message or something, it'll be under your whatever trim you put on there. So that's pretty cool, right? That's really could be fun. Secret message under your, I'm getting caught on my arm here. Secret message under your under your trim, right? That's kind of fun, I think. That's kind of fun. Okay, 3 yards. Yeah, so yeah, I have to think about what else I could make into spools now. Journaling cards, scrapbook paper. Now if I didn't try paper, like scrapbook paper, but you probably could try that and glue that. I would definitely use 2 pieces of, if you're just using scrapbook paper, or you could glue scrapbook paper onto cardstock, you know, just have a layer of scrapbook paper and a layer of cardstock, you know, file folder or whatever kind of cardstock you have. So let's see how this looks when it's done. So fun. I think it was 3 yards. Yeah, it was. So cool. Okay, so this one ended up right here. All right, that's what it looks like now with you got the love under there. Here's the back. So cute. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on today. And when you see this video, I probably won't have any in my shop yet, but keep an eye on, because I'm going to be working on these today, and hopefully by the end of the day, I will have some of these in my shop. So I've already got 3 3-yard spools. Yeah, I really like that medium corner rounder. Let's go ahead and put it on this one, because it just, you know, you can't really tell that that's rounded. So this one really does a good job. And then that's the journaling card. So that one was already rounded. So that's what it would look like with the large. And it looks good. It looks good with both, I think, the large or the medium round. Or you don't have to do any kind of rounding at all if you don't want to. You know, you don't have to. I just tried it and liked it, so why not? Okay. All right. So 3 yards of, and I'm going to have some different colors in there too. This is not the only color I found, but I want to show you what I found on my coming Thrifty Thursday this week. So if you want to see all of the jackpot of eyelash trim that I have found, come back from my Thrifty Thursday and I'll show you in that and show you all the colors. In the meantime, you will get probably a sneak peek on the different colors in my, so I'll probably do maybe a different listing for each color type of thing, and in my Etsy. So that would be a good idea. I haven't really thought that far ahead, but yeah, that would probably be a good idea. So hope you enjoyed the spools, and If you have an envelope punch board, you can make some. I've never made any without a my envelope punch board, but I'm sure you could find a template. Like on Pinterest, I've found many a template on Pinterest for envelopes before I had an envelope punch board and things like that. And just printed that out, cut it out on cardstock, and then you can draw around it and cut. And there you have your spool or whatever shape, template you might want. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy crafting.